Coach, can you talk a little bit about what you guys did to prepare for Welsh and Carr and those guys?
Yeah, I think Chad hit it pretty well. A couple of points, though. One, we knew how good Union's power play was, and we were very, very fearful of it. And in practice, we tried to mimic it. And I give our scout unit, it sounds funny, give them a lot of credit for duplicating it. But as practices went on, we weren't very successful even killing against our scout unit, and we came to the realization that this would have been a tough power play unit to stop with Welsh and the group. And so we thought minimizing penalties is where we had to start first, and I give our players a ton of credit. I didn't see a score sheet yet, but I'm guessing, I think they had 2 power plays, but it might have been just one, I don't recall, but we did an outstanding job of not going in the box. And then we knew too that coming in we were going to be the road team, meaning we wouldn't get last change. So then you start thinking to yourself as a team, well, can we set lines? And probably not. So it wasn't as though we could set certain lines. So all we could really do is make them aware of how good that line is, and as best we could make sure that we got bodies on them. They're just too big and too strong, and so we also wanted to make sure we swarmed the puck, if you will. So when Welsh or that line hit in the offensive zone, rather than relying on a man-on-man type defense with them, we tried to send 2 players right at the puck to limit our exposure with them in zone. And even then, Welsh had a couple of very good opportunities. The puck, he's just one of those players, the puck follows him, and he earns his chances, but good players the puck seems to find, and he had it quite a bit tonight.
Take one in front, and then we'll stay in front for...
Nice, Dr. Pioneer. Coach, can you just talk about how the players handled the emotions and the magnitude of the game? How you thought they responded to that?
Really well. It was interesting. I thought there has been times during the course of the year when we've had a lead late, and it just seems like, panic sets in. We've won those games, but on the bench, it just seems like there's a panic almost. Like we're wishing the game to end, and we finally, I think, gotten to the point now where we can embrace the moment, not wish the clock away, and just play the actual game itself and leave the referees' calls alone and not worry about all the other things. And I'm not just talking about the players, I'm talking about the coach too. There's times, when I would get, and you almost got to take a breath and not necessarily wish the clock to run down, just figure 8 or 60 and let it run. And I thought our players did a superb job of just staying focused. Once we had the lead and not getting too far ahead of ourselves and letting it become a bit of a mess on the bench, if you will.
Take another one in the front.
Yeah, Rich Thompson, Boston Herald. Coach Daniels, speaking of panic, I didn't see any from your team after you went down 1-0. Is poise a characteristic of your team?
Yeah, it is, and I would give the players the credit again. Chad Billins, Tom Hill, our captains, and the entire senior class is just not a high-maintenance group of kids. I mean, they're very, and like every single team is different every year, and they all have different personalities. Coach Kaufman before has told me every team's like a snowflake. They're all different, and this team is certainly, and the one trait of this team is it's just like the maturity level is through the roof, and probably a good time to mention now, I've said it before, but the success of the ice is also being sought in the classroom by this team with 3.41 GPA last semester as a team. We won the elite, Tommy Hill, our senior, won the Elite 89 award, and we're exceedingly proud of those accomplishments, and I think that's a reflection of this team, that not only their ability to do well in the classroom seems to permeate the team as well, and just a very mature group.
Paul Weston.
Paul Weston from the College Hockey Online. Coach, every year it seems at the beginning of the year you say, we've got a great team, but we don't know where the offense is coming from. Can you talk a little bit about the emergence of Kyle and the rest of the team this season?
Sure. Kyle Bonis, again, always a scorer in juniors. It's funny, no one recruited Kyle Bonis. We're probably the only school that recruited him. We had a chance to see him play in Traverse City. He's always been a scorer. When you watch him, I think certainly we were concerned about his skating, and so everyone watches him, and he scores. He's had a history of scoring goals since he's 14, 15-year-old. And then we asked him to walk on, which is kind of interesting, and so we got a walk on that scores 20-plus goals in the year. Yeah, that's terrific, but the things we were worried about is skating aren't there, and he probably, I think when he first came, like a lot of kids, he had to learn how to play defense first before his offense followed, and he's done that, and now his offense has followed. Derek Graham was a forward that came to us, and because of his lack of size, he had a hard time finding ways to score. We moved him to defense because of his skill level. After 2 years of playing defense, in battling in front of goals, we just moved him back to center, and he took those traits to center, and now he's doing well offensively. So that was a group, I guess, we really count on coming into the season, and then obviously Taylor Nelson as well. And if you even look at Chad Billins, he was always overshadowed, and rightfully so, by Zach Redmond. But Chad's always been an offensive force on the blue line, and now with the kind of, him being the go-to guy offensively and the point, he's getting the recognition he deserves.
We'll stay in the front.
Dr. Pioneer. Coach, was this a game that you would consider vintage Bulldog hockey in terms of kind of being a grinded-out game and not having some players emerge and really step up at key times in the game?
Yeah, I think that's right, Marty, and I will say this, that going against Union, we were very scared because, it was like looking in the mirror, and we watching them play, and we knew scoring chances for ourselves were going to be hard to come by. We really preached all week getting ready, patience against Union, because if we got impatient and had poor puck management and bad turnovers, we felt as though they would have a lot of capabilities to score in transition, and that would have given them opportunities they would not give us. We knew from watching video they did not give you chances. You've got to earn them, and all of a sudden it became a premium on our team to play good Bulldog hockey, and we couldn't give them chances that they weren't willing to give us back.
Take one more. Second row. Coach, when you talk about defending the Welsh line, it looked like Wysopal in your second pairing, or maybe on paper the second pairing was out there. Can you talk about his play tonight and everything he's brought to your team as a veteran leader over the years?
Sure, Brett Wysopal. Brett transferred to us from Colorado College, and he's kind of an unsung hero again because of the fact that he doesn't rack the points up of Zach Redmond or now of Chad Billins, but yet there's a lot of teams that would like him on their number one pairing in the country because of how well he plays defensively. He's really a warrior, and for us to have him in our second pairing is really a bonus for us because of the fact that now with the rules on icing, you can't change players. People that watch that game very closely, every single time we had an icing, the Welsh line came out, so they would get a group of our players tired, and so you can never guarantee who you're going to have on the ice, and to have Brett Wysopal being able to roll out after Zarnow's and their Billins is a luxury a lot of teams would like to have.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Coach Daniels.
Thank you.